And so, yeah, I know what you're thinking. What are we doing here? This is not something we normally do. Typically, with this special event, we see the same old thing year after year. But this year, they finally decided to do something different. For the first time since 2017, this very start of 2017, we are showing off this particular special event. It comes at the start of the regular New Year, but it also is a symbolic representation of Chinese New Year. And so the people in front, as well as the people who we're going to meet, are going to be emblematic of that. And so this is how we'll be ringing in both the new year and the new decade. So hey there, Miguel, Karu, Annie, and to everyone else that's just logging on, we're glad to have you with us here tonight. So, greetings people of the world. Matthias Griffin back with you here once again for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Live. And so, for the first time, as I mentioned, we are going to be taking on Heavensturn, this game's version of the Chinese New Year, which they always start at the beginning of the regular year, even though Chinese New Year takes place in February. But, nonetheless, we're finally going to show this off again because, as I mentioned, they've done basically the same thing for the last 4 years now. Ever since the 2016 Heavensturn, they've always done everything pretty much the same way. The only thing that was different was that there's, of course, a different animal to be representative of Chinese New Year. This year, though, they actually made a change to something that they've done before, which was not exactly a really fun event to do. But they changed that this year, and I'm very glad they did. And when I discovered that that was the case, I was like, oh yeah, we're showing this off tonight. So, what do you say we go ahead and get started? Hey there, Asia, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. And so, yeah, let's get out of first-person perspective, because we already did that, and head on over here to speak with the man in charge, the Nezumi Buguyo. And we'll go ahead and take on his level 15 quest entitled Mochi to be Desired. The Nezumi Buguyo requires assistance in overcoming cultural barriers. Oh, but you have the air of someone who has spent time abroad. Are you perhaps an adventurer? A man practiced in acquaintancing yourself with various cultures. I come from far east, you see, where we celebrate Heavensturn just as the people of Eorzea do. But rather than a god like your 12, we choose an animal to represent the coming year. This year belongs to the foremost beast among them, the rat. And celebration of the rat's glory should not, nay, must not be confined to the far eastern shores. Thus did I don a festive kabuto in the name of sharing our customs with all the world. I was confident that I could easily surpass my dull-witted compatriots, those who have ventured to release foreign lands representing inferior beasts in years past. In this task, alas, all has not gone to plan. As the rat is considered a symbol of plenty and harbinger of fortune in my homeland, I thought to grace the people of Eorzea with the opportunity to pound mochi and make advent cakes alongside these lofty creatures. Alas, the people of Eorzea seem loath to touch tubs of mochi razi with rats, nor eat the laboriously prepared cakes. This can likely be attributed to cultural differences, as I mentioned previously. The trouble with cultural bias is, of course, that people often do not recognize it within themselves, let alone make an effort to overcome it on their own. Now, if they are to ever understand the rat's superiority, I must do the work of convincing them. Unfortunately, I am uncertain as to what manner of local superstition about rats has given rise to their aversion, and without that knowledge I have no means of assuaging their discomfort. Might I impose upon you to speak with the townspeople here on my behalf? I am afraid they will not share their honest thoughts with me for fear of causing offense. I believe I can do the job for you. You have my thanks. Perhaps you may begin with that elderly woman over there. She refused my invitation to join the festivities earlier. Unsurprising perhaps, as the elderly are often set in their ways. Well, as this Nezumi Buguyo is about to find out, that's not exactly why. And it seems like I'm going to be very close with my first-person perspective button. Yeah, it's Amanya who's over here speaking with some of the people who are working on the merchants and having to deal with bartering and whatnot. Hello there. I spent the better part of my life trying to keep rats out of the grain stores. I can't imagine why I'd want them touching my food, filthy creatures. In any case, the idea of animals cooking is ludicrous. Even if there were, say, a particularly intelligent dog, it would still have no hands. Anyway, this all seems fairly obvious. Ask anyone, they'll tell you the same. Alright, maybe we can get some more information from someone who happens to be right at the gate to Lower Lanosea. Miss Clindrail here. Balderdash, let her rot in your pantry and let your house not cook you dinner. Not that you wanted to, unless you think the pestilence the finest spice. If only you were into a do of your purposes, however, you might try something like a rat, but rather more sentient. Or at least that's so to a man if you catch my drift. In this case, what? Or respond with a Kakirin, something that's common around here in Lanosea, but also in Urubania. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Quite. They look like rats, squeak like rats, chew through your unattended grain sucks like rats, but are not in fact rats. They can even use cutlery. I doubt you'll find anyone here willing to eat food prepared by rats, but Kakirin are another story. At least with them you can be reasonably certain that the rice wasn't planted with any plague-ridden feet. And there's one right over there, Ninarun I think his name was. Alright, why don't we go ahead and pay him a visit. Hey there, Elizabeth, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. So, yeah, why don't we go over here and speak with Ninarun of the Kakirin. Yeah, he has a few friends here in Lanosea. You have a tale of Heavensturn to tell? Indeed I do. Is there not say rats bring fortunate fortunes? Cultural difference, different indeed. Luminsons think rats are dirty because rats eat anything, even though eating is normal reaction to edible things. We also eat edible things, so often offended by offensive comparison to rats. Ninarun think Kakirin in land where rats thought to bring their fortune very fortunate. Oh, striking idea, strike me! Ninarun help Ratman make rats popular with the Luminson populace. Then Kakirin gain favor by favorable comparison. Alright then. Good! Then Ninarun follow you as follower to help you as helper. Well, now that we have someone who could help out the Bugio, let's go ahead and get back on over to him. Yeah, lots of people speaking with Mr. Bugio. So let's bring in the would-be support. You have returned, and I see you have a majestic rodent in your company. This must be a sign that my fortunes are improving as we speak. Indeed, they are. Because... so in Eosin culture, rats are considered unclean. That does explain their reactions. Yes, rats and rat-like Kakirin both. Too many hasty judgments. Ninarun think it better to bet the reputation of rats and Kakirin at the same time. Propose we work together. A marvelous idea, as I would expect from one of such furry features and elongated snout. With our waters combined, we ought to be able to overcome the people's preconceptions, culturally ingrained or no. And bring fortunate fortunes to all! So is the music stopping? Bugyo, we have a problem! Yeah, what gives? What? Another one? Has something gone wrong with the mochi now? Unfortunately so. As you know, I've been hard at work preparing the mochi, pounding rice into an amorphous mass, and all was going according to plan. Also, it seemed until the mochi began to jiggle on its own. I'm afraid that it's arrived. Like, what? Yeah, this is not at all like the previous 3 years. Yes, I quite understand your surprise, but we have no time for it. I know not whether this issue arose because I used the miraculous yet unpredictable waters of Daitanzan Soul Spring in the preparation. It seemed like a good idea at the time, or if it is simply down to the peculiar Aether in this foreign land, but in any case we must act. I propose we take up arms and cut the mochi into ava cakes before this newfound sentience tries to get any ideas. Yeah, and then sees the fellow Aura. What say you, Rod? I grant that it is nothing of a peculiar situation we find ourselves in, but it is dire nonetheless. I think we can help. As long as my voice holds out. Neither will cut cutting some mochi too. Rodman's event too important to have cut short. I am glad to hear it, good people of Eosia. Please join us at the Ziffo Drift at your earliest convenience. I shall head down myself post-haste, lest the mochi wander off. Alright then. Yeah, you better hurry. This event has been troublesome indeed, but we shall persevere. We cannot let the year of the rat arrive without proper welcome. You think so there, Azer? I don't know if I can remember how to get out of here. Yeah, it's now time for us to head on off to Middle Lano. And since we are going to be going after Fate, we are going to be dressing for combat here. The Fate is not currently in effect, so we are going to be in a waiting period until it pops. So you can see people are already starting to going to be gathering around here to participate in the Fates. And this can be done on an unlimited basis, even after you do it the first time for the purposes of clearing this particular quest. Now begins the waiting game on how long it'll take to have this Fate spawn and to deal with this giant sentient mochi. I believe it was a couple years ago. Oh! The Fate spawned! It's time for us to go! Here's our target. This giant living mochi, which is basically a slime. It's got leaf arms and an orange for a head. And it's got a big Far Eastern bow tie, so to speak. Yeah, it's got Thunderous Jiggling as ability. And yeah, as you can see, Ninaroon has come with some lucky rats to try and help us to quell this thing. Yeah, and now it's doing some ominous wiggling. Because now it's going to start spawning the little Advent Mochi over here. And these are the only ones that count towards the meter on the Fate itself. So we have to both keep making the living Mochi smaller and getting it to shed itself, as it were, and then killing off the Advent Mochi too. So yeah, as you can see, this is far different from how Heavensturn has been done in previous series in regards to Mochi, because for those of you who remember in previous years, all you were going to do in the Fate was try and risk your life to grab Mochi that was being pounded in progress by a giant Cyclops, and you had to keep waiting until the thing got, until you had a window of opportunity to actually pick some Mochi out. But this is far better. Yeah, I did a test one with Rika earlier today when I got home from work, and I was like, yeah, the moment I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is different, we are showing it off. But yeah, as you can see, the living Mochi has some huge AoE spray on it. And the living Mochi has given up as much as it could possibly give, so let's go ahead and finish off the Advent Mochi that spawned from it. And this mess is cleaned up. So, by getting the maximum reward for the Fate, we got 10 pieces of the cut Mochi. So let's go ahead and take this back to Limsa. And of course, Limsamensa always a very busy city, but of course since it's also hosting Heavensturn, it's gonna be even busier. Back to the Av Castle. Alright, so we can take off the battle gear since our mission was accomplished. And we can return to the Nozumi Bugyo. Yeah, come out wherever you are, sir, as the sun sets here in Limsamensa. And Ninurun returns as well, with proof of our success. The size, the shape, this is truly magnificent work. You are not among men to be sure. Now Luminsons can taste the mochi, and see your aspiring fortunes after all. No doubt they would. The issue remains, however, how to entice them to taste it to begin with. We're about to get some, unexpected presents. Oh, I thought I used in Bugyo. Here for your Heavensturn, are ye? Yeah, this is Lingsaf, the leader of the Culinarians Guild. Coming to say hello. Just so good, sir. I am Nozumi Bugyo, coming to bear adding the traditional Heavensturn oven cake, sir. How might I help you? Oh, allow me to introduce myself. Lingsaf, head of the Culinarians Guild and proprietor of the Bismarck besides. I got a solid sense of smell that comes off the territory, and I got a whiff of the most enticing aroma emanating from hereabouts. I reckon it's coming from that oven cakes you mentioned. Try one! These are fine cakes freshly cut by Kakirin and Rats, and the adventurer, neither Kakirin or Rat. Serial one of the chefs who made these. Remarkable. Didn't know there were Kakirin culinarians. Oh, no, Ninurun no chef, only help by helping with cuts. Give yourself some credit. Takes a lot to prepare a dish, and if you put in the work to make these, you're qualified to call yourself assistant culinarian at least. Yeah. And so, takes a big bite. Just as good as it smells. Fascinating in texture, really. Chewy, but not in a bad way. The flavour is subtle and just a bit sweet. I can tell you it's the right fine rice. Pure water too. There's something else though, such as give yourself this perfect consistency. A special technique or something. As you say, we use the finest ingredients from our homeland. The techniques involved are traditional as well. However, I doubt that they are not the special something which you detect. For that, good sir, is passion. Puts a smile on his face. The devotion of myriad rats who made the arduous journey from the Far East to bring fortune to your fair land. The favour and hopes of Ninurun who rebels for the sake of his people. This random adventurer's zeal for violence. All have combined to create these superlative advent cakes. Passion, is it? I know something like that myself. Seems we all got a lot in common despite coming from different places. It just so happens to got an interview with the harbour editor later on. If all's alright, I'd like to mention your advert cakes. Let people know they can get them during Heavensturn. Could be a good opportunity for cultural exchange and all that. He understands perfectly. The Harbour Herald? So many readers would read about mochi! And the public will have greater excuse to eschew our advent cakes once a renowned culinarian has vouched for them. Yeah, and they couldn't be happier about it. On behalf of rats everywhere, I thank you for your assistance, sir. Yeah, definitely grateful. And you are as well, adventurer. Your service shall not be forgotten.
I will personally ensure that rats watch over you wherever you may go.
I was like, really? You're very welcome, bring on the rats, or please don't trouble yourself, I hardly did anything, really. Yeah, sure. We want to make him feel like we earned our keep to make this possible for him.
Very well. Now, if you excuse us, we must go forth and prepare to bring our Vance cakes to the masses, who shall soon doubtless be clamoring for a fair price worth of rats to descend on the city.
Yeah, definitely got Langsouth excited about that. So, for completing this year's Heavensturn, we get our 3,360 experience points, 420 gil. Don't take that out of context. As well as one of two choices of helmets that are associated with Heavensturn every year. And of course, since this is the year of the rats, they're centered around rats. So we can go with either a Cobalt or a Crimson. We will give the Cobalt one to Shinji, given that he is currently playing the Warrior of Darkness role. And in so doing, get the achievement, Momochi! 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 So yeah, before we show off what it looks like, we can actually come over here to the merchants. Because you can actually get the other helmet too for just 5 pieces of cut mochi. As well as a Heavensturn bounty, which can be used in the house. Zoni, which is a gathering gear, which is always made available during this part of the year. Plus, this year they also introduced these Advent Cake Magic Prisms, of which I will be showing off to you guys. And since it's nighttime, I think it makes sense that we get to show these off now. First though, let's put on one of these helmets, shall we? And at the very least, show off our... trying to be as close to the Nezumi Bugyo as well as his delegation as possible. It is also possible to dye this thing, but it's not dyeing the whole helmet. It's only dyeing certain parts of the helmet, which in this case are the pictures of the mice on the giant ears. And you'll also notice that it also changes the color of the tail too. So, oh, and also as well, you probably won't be able to see this because I'm so far away, but you can actually also use the visor as well on this helmet. You won't notice much of a difference, but if you click on the visor, you can actually have the helmets, the teeth on the helmets, either showing or not. So yeah, I thought that was a weird thing to include, that you could do that, but you can. So yeah, now we get the opportunity to show off the star of this show, the particular magic prisms that are going to be associated with this year's event. Where are those Advent cakes? Yeah, right here. I'm going to set these to hotbar just so you can see what's going on now. Get it all set up here. Yeah. Pay attention or you're going to miss this one. Yeah, that one went kind of by pretty quickly. You see the little ring there with the fireworks, and you may have also noticed the Moogle head sitting on the top of the mochi. That was the thing that caught my eye the most. But yeah, don't blink or you're gonna miss the image on this magic prism. It doesn't last as long as others, so that is one knock against it. But all told, this is a very cool little magic prism that they have. And so, that is how the Heavensturn 2020 is taken for this year. And so, yeah, they did a lot of the same things, but they did one thing different, and that was how to get the mochi itself. And I thought to myself that it was a very welcome change, and one that's definitely worth having a mouse sitting on the head of the Warrior of Darkness.